for his most played with Jinx. So, you know, he has 4, make it 5 with this pick, and has done all right with it, 2-2 so far, which is obviously a lot better than the norm for TSM, you know, given that they have had a pretty rocky split. So I think has been pretty effective. And when Tactical's on, I think that he is really on. So we'll see kind of what type of performance he can turn in. This is now the 3rd straight AShe pick here for Hansama, who has really been defaulting to this, and he's pretty much the only guy, it feels like, going to it a lot in the LCS. I think we maybe had 1 pick besides him playing it, and I just tend to think it's incredibly strong. Like, the pick in the meta brings so much value because a lot of teams are struggling to find engage, right? They're struggling to find engage in the draft if they don't want to go for a hard engage support. That's pretty much where everyone is getting their engage from. And then they're kind of caught in these situations where it's like, all right, you have like Trundle or like a Xin is your only engage, and it's kind of weird if you fall behind it all. AShe can kind of shore up a lot of those weaknesses. So AShe Braum, a lot of team fighting power here, going to be really strong, you know, in that team fight situation, to be finding picks as well. The Hawkshot going to set up Santorin for success, track this Jarvan, who is pretty reliant on early game success. So it's interesting that even with the AShe shown, Spica decides he wants to go straight for the J4. Of course, it's great in team fights against it, but the early pathing, it's more difficult to surprise an AShe team because you get Hawkshot level 2, you scout this guy out, and you track him, and that's going to be the job here of Hansama and Bwipo.
Yep. Also, kind of to Spica's interview yesterday, did talk a lot about, you know, just kind of wanting to pick Jarvan and go camp for Huni. Yep. I imagine there is definitely some intent for that in this game as well, as Syndra and Ahri both get banned away from Bjerg. Obviously can't have the J4 Rumble, which was a big piece of their game yesterday, but there's plenty of carries for Huni to take in the top lane.
Yep, and Ahri, I think, has been so successful for Bjergsen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 3 of his last 4 games, he's played the Ahri. They did take 1 loss in those, but I think he's looked really good in all 3. And I think, you know, in their wins on Ahri, like, he was the reason that they won, right? And a lot of people have been talking about, well, Bjergsen had kind of just been along for the ride a bit. Like, he had been playing well, not making mistakes, but it was other people that were carrying. He carried those Ahri games in my mind. So that's going to get taken off. The Syndra going to get taken off as well. We'll see if it is blind for Takeover. That's my assumption. Ooh. You know, with TSM on red side, you almost always expect it to be the Huni show. Bjergsen could go towards something like the Vex that is open, and we have seen that taken in this matchup quite a lot. So we'll see if he's going to be someone who wants to pick that up. You know, he's a very versatile player. And you can just go control mage and farm it out. Like, that's what we actually saw Blaze Olive do last game. But Bjergsen is one of the guys who does really like to dive into any new matchup, any new champion that is getting popular, and making sure that he has it in his repertoire.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a decent time to play the champion. If they want it, that is Graves Blind for Bwipo. It is going to be another marksman there. Make it 3 for Team Liquid. Corki instead for Bjerg.
So this is the exact matchup we just saw that Blaze Olive wanted to take. So you can kind of do the same thing that we saw, you know, him do against PoE, where you just go early defensive. You get that early Hex Drinker, try to stay safe. Of course, J4 plus LeBlanc, very threatening in the gank setup, in the 2v2. Irelia would be an aggressive counter pick here, you know, for Huni. You are going to get pushed in early, but there are opportunities post 6 to find those all-ins, and especially if J4 can get up there and get you ahead, it can be very difficult for the Graves to really kind of come back in that. So this is going to be an interesting one. Triple marksman here for TL. Turns out they are pretty good. They are very low on engage, though, and this is actually a very similar style of composition to how they lost against FlyQuest, where they played the Lucian top. TL has, I think, struggled at times when they have been playing low engaged comps, when they don't have that go button. They've created big leads with these types of comps, but they haven't always been able to close out effectively with it. So trying to have that as another weapon in their arsenal going into playoffs, working at that, and we'll see if they can do it here today.
This is a league built on speed and precision, where everything needs to perform at a pro level, especially your hardware.
They blocked the road. They want to complete the final piece of the puzzle. They don't have enough damage for it, but who cares? It's all a formality, baby. The winner of LCS Lock-In.
Even if you're hard stuck plat, like me, forever. Roccat, the official mouse and keyboard of the LCS.
Alrighty then, well, I have great news for League of Legends fans at home, especially if you're an LCS fan. This is our last regular season game of the spring. Why is that good news, Azael? Because no matter what happens, we got more games after this as well.
Yeah, we got tiebreakers coming, 2 or 3. If TL lose, we got 3. If they win, we get 2. But they obviously want to secure this win here, lock up first place.
So does TL. I just want everyone to know that.
Wasn't us.
See, there you go. There's Steve.
Innocent.
He knows. He knows what's going on. No. Indeed. Team Liquid are very familiar with getting first place, especially in the regular season standings. So aiming to get back up there after Cloud9 looked like they were going to run away with the split. They have faltered a couple of times in the back end. Team Liquid, ever the consistent gamers, have kept themselves towards the top and could indeed reach the summit if they take down TSM, which shouldn't be tricky given TSM split.
If you look at the records, you wouldn't think so. But given the games today, the craziness we've been seeing,
no one is safe.
No one is safe, for sure. And Bjergsen going a little bit of an interesting rune choice here. He's going Electrocute. First Strike is almost exclusively what you see on Corki. If people are really in a rough matchup, they'll go for Fleet. I have not seen a lot of Electrocute, but if you're going to be taking these types of trades, can make a lot of sense. A lot of teams are loving this invade, though. Spica getting invaded on the red. When you have Graves level 1 with the E, it's so strong. Spica getting pushed out. TSM are posturing like they just want to scrap for this, but it's too little too late, man. You got to give it up and just get back to your lane, because Takeover ends up taking a bit of a rough trade off the back of that as well. This sucks for Spica. You're playing an early game champ, one of the best level 2 ganking champions in the game, if not the best, on the J4. And now you don't have a red buff, which makes any early game gank that much weaker and is going to slow down your clear a lot more. He's starting a leashless Wolves here, level 1, and Santorin's going to cross. This is less about the gank and more saying, nope, you can't have my red buff. I know that's what you want to do. You want to go cross map to the red. So seeing this, Spica won't even be able to try, so he's going to have to do a weird clear where he just basically does his blue quadrant, Wolves, blue, go to Gromp, and then go cross map again, back up to try to take your Krugs, and we'll see if he can pilfer anything away from the enemy jungle, but it's looking like it's going to be a 4-camp clear, and he'll just be down a couple camps.
Yep, Hansama getting the intel as well, had the hook shot leveled up for level 2, so Spica's life is even more miserable, as Team Liquid are so good at getting information and playing with the information here. So Santorin off to the races. Do like the Electrocute for Corki. I think Bjerg is one of the players that is always dialed in, not just for different champion matchups, but the different things you can do in certain lane matchups. So really cool to see that he wants a little bit more early power in this 1v1.
Ooh, he's actually just going to look around for a wraparound gank. I think that is smart. If you say your only way out of this is just by fighting, as Huni's going to get pushed in there. Spica's trying to see, is there anything for me to take? And there really isn't, because this whole side of the map has been cleared. He's maybe going to look for some sort of a dive. Was spotted. He actually showed.
Ooh, he actually hit the chain. Bjergsen is going to get knocked up there as well, and that's first blood. Spica gets his revenge.
Spica getting it, but is Santorin going to get some revenge of his own? Spica, with the blast cone, was not actually there from Take, so Bwipo could flash on this. He might want to go.
Spica's getting out of there, and Takeover's now in trouble. Bwipo, smokescreen down, going to try and run down Takeover. Ooh, that's the right one, but Santorin, left to the waiting arms of the Viego, is going to be a trade.
Yeah, nice flash from Spica, anticipating the flash in there from Bwipo. Unfortunately, things end up going a bit bad on the back end of this as Takeover goes down. Does end up using his flash, so both those flashes are down. It is a trade, of course, as you get both TPs off of TL. You get the flash off of Bwipo. The setup here was nice. Spica was spotted, but with the chain landing, Bjergsen basically just knows he's dead. Like, as soon as the chain is there and he flashes onto your face, even if you flash, the chain extends and will actually latch with you. So you would have had to be able to flash the chain itself, but Takeover, flashing in there, not allowing that opportunity. And then with Santorin camping the clone, no way out here. Takeover's best shot would have just been try to do some clone micro and hope that he goes for the wrong one. But of course, in this case, had him nailed down.
Yep, nicely done there for TL. Do trade back. They're up 300 gold or so. Not a whole lot here in this early game, as we'll check in with the bottom side of the map.
Yeah,
I don't remember what the matchup has been every time Hans has played AShe, but this is at least, if my memory is serving, the second time he's played against Zeri specifically.
Yeah, Zeri can struggle to deal with range. That is one of the tricky things. You do have relatively long range with the Q, especially once lethal tempo is stacked up, but if you're kind of getting poked and harassed as you're coming in, that makes things difficult. Huni trying to get a bit aggressive, man. He is taking a lot of damage. That's such a fat wave. Like,
yeah. What do you do? Like, Spica's in there, but oh, Huni just hoovers it up. Never mind. They may have it all lined up here. Bwipo in trouble. Doesn't have flash. The Q is there. The end of the line is for Bwipo, though, as Huni's going to get it.
Yeah, Huni was fighting so aggressively into that because Spica was moving up, and credit to Spica, man. Like, this jungle start sucks, but he's been out on the map and found 2 kills. Santorin now trying to make a counterplay here bot.
Have to know that you're in trouble here in the bottom side, Shenyi. You're probably just going to have to give it up. Looking like a trade. CoreJJ is going to go down. And there is somewhere for Santorin to reset to, but Tactical, can he outplay the 1v2? Santorin is going to pick up the enemy Leona.
Oh, but he's taking the tower.
Little too much damage on that one there.
Oh, that's clever. I always forget that you can do this. You actually do get the relic shield charges. So he just actually picked up the clone. Yep, and he got all 3 relic shield charges there. So a little bit of bonus gold for them. Takes the cannon, helps push that in. So they weren't looking for a redive, more just to grab that to get some bonus gold for himself. Nicely done on that account. But yeah, Tactical survives. Is able to at least get the farm, but Han's going to be able to pick up the kill. Grabs early Berserker Greaves here. So we'll see where he wants to go from here. It's going to be interesting to see if he wants to go towards, like, you know, the more defensive option. Shield Bow plus Wit's End is really popular in solo queue, but largely we've been seeing more like Gale Force and stuff has been kind of what he's been going towards.
Have to see. Huni, not quite level 6 yet, does ding it. CoreJJ with a big roam up topside. This is something he does all the time, and Huni takes the bait. Bwipo alongside the Braum's going to get a counter kill.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Right when he hits 6, that is your window to look for the all-in, but Core is there. Top laners hate him. If you watch Champions, you hear every top laner complain when CoreJJ is on the enemy team. But he does this so often, you got to pay the respect to it. Pretty much any time Core has that window to do it off of his first base, he just buys boots and runs top and sees what's going to happen. Going to be able to get up there. He even gets the kill, which isn't ideal, but of course it was getting a little bit dicey. It's rough for Huni, though, as the wave gets pushed in. It means he's down in ultimate, so it's going to be that window where that's on cooldown that Bwipo isn't really too concerned. And yes, the Hawkshot doesn't spot the jungler, but guess what? It spots that the camps are down, so you can kind of infer that he's going to be on the top side of the map, which is where Santorin is.
Shenyi here as well, though, is kind of following a little late on CoreJJ's roam, but at least trying to get some pressure alleviated here on the top half of the map. Santorin was invading, is level 6, so is the Jarvan. So the farm difference, obviously, very favorable for Santorin, but Spica has collected some gold. Unfortunately, so is Santorin. He has the same KDA right now with 1 kill and 1 assist, but as you said, given the start, I think Spica has to be relatively happy. It's a matter of, can you continue snowballing a point of the map? Huni's the obvious choice, but Spica with his J4 can look to try and go anywhere he feels like he can get someone ahead.
Absolutely, and mid lane is actually a pretty nice farm advantage right now. So, you know, things going decent for TSM for sure. And there's nothing that Spica could do besides gank, right? Because his camps got taken away, and that's not his fault. There's no like outplaying that situation that is compositional and that is well done by TL to kind of utilize the power of the Graves, get in there at the level 1, take away those camps, then Santorin inferring that he might go cross map, so he covers that as well. So Santorin just kind of had really great pathing, and Spica's only option really is gank or just like be way behind. So he ganked and he made it happen. So he's down 400 gold, but given the situation, that's not bad whatsoever.
Hook shot again, should get the information. Spica is indeed on the blue buff. Yeah, Jungle is definitely playing its dash. Where's Kobe when you need him? You need to like pip up he needs to like pre-record a rant about it, and then whenever this happens, we can pip it up. Give you all some entertainment.
It's definitely tough, man. It's really, really frustrating to deal with. I think especially when I'm playing an early game jungler like J4, every time you get Hawkshot, you're just like, you just feel like you're one step closer to losing the game.
Yeah.
You know, because you always feel the pressure to make something happen. When you're playing J4, you're like, all right, well, Santorin's playing the Viego, he's out farming me, you know, had this early start, I gotta make ganks happen. Every time a Hawkshot hits you, there's no ganks to make. There's nothing to really get done there. Santorin going to be able to take that Herald on top side. Spica at least gets the mini Herald, gets the crab for his troubles.
Not bad. Actually, maybe going to extend to an invade like this look from TSM. Big, strong top side here. Going to try and get this blue buff. Spica's going to jump in, sees that Santorin's already leashed it, but looking for the knockup, doesn't grab it, gets the slow. They're not going to follow up.
Yeah, not really going to be able to follow in on Santorin there with Black and Drag on cooldown. They're just going to try to take this away. He does have his smite, and Santorin does not, so it's his blue. Not going to actually donate that over, but at the same time, Bwipo got the push. He's going to reset because the wave will bounce. Huni just going to be rushing Blade the Rune King, pretty much the only thing you see these days from Irelia players. And on the other side, going to be interested to see exactly where Bwipo wants to take us with his itemization. You know, it's not the super aggressive builds that we had been seeing prior. You know, he had been going like just full-on lethality every single time when he brought out Graves early on in the year. Was one of the guys that I think he had the best Graves, I would say, that we've seen in the LCS. You know, really was able to be very, very effective with it. But looking like a little bit more of a defensive build this time around.
As you noted from Bjerg's little few seconds of waiting, the package is up and available, so TL are going to be looking for a play with Bjerg. It only lasts a minute, and the Dragon is up in more than that, so won't have it for that fight if they want to take the Hextech Dragon, but obviously Bjerg can look to make something happen somewhere else, as TL have actually rotated Hans up towards the top side of the map.
And for now, it's just kind of that push and pull, moving around the map, trying to start pressuring these towers. Huni really wants to find some isolated time here against Bwipo, but TL has just done a good job kind of circumventing that, right? With good reset timings and just bouncing back and forth, fighting away from him, trying to put pressure away from the Irelia. They're going to be able to crack this tower, so that should be first tower going down. Not quite, as it actually takes too much damage to get that last little bit. So TL will have to hang around and try to push in here, try to finish this off. This tower is just a couple autos, but it does get a little bit difficult to do, so they might not actually be able to finish this off with Spica covering. Yeah,
they did spot him as well. There is a ward that Spica walked over, so 89 health, keeping TL away from that extra plate and first turret money. Feels kind of bad, but Team Liquid aren't going to be too bothered. Have to expect that they believe they'll get that in short order, and Hans and CoreJJ are understandably going to stay around to try and make that happen, especially because they expect TSM to run down to this Drake in 20 seconds.
You know what I think this is? I was kind of trying to puzzle out what Bwipo was actually building. I think it's the Gore Drinker Graves build. I've been seeing this a little bit on ladder. It's pretty weird, but it is very tanky. We're going to see Shenyi maybe get chased down here.
He's okay. Ooh, Arrow's barely going to miss, so now he's okay.
It's one of those things when you're playing against melee-heavy teams and you're kind of just scrapping in the middle anyway.
Melee Graves?
Yeah, it's basically melee Graves. Like, Gore Drinker Graves has become kind of popular. Yeah, it actually is. I was a little bit confused because I saw the Caulfield, I saw the pickaxe, I saw the Kindle Gem. I'm like, is he building multiple items, or is he actually just have the pieces for the Iron Spike Whip? Because obviously the pickaxe builds into that. So yeah, it is going to be the Gore Drinker Graves here. It's something we haven't seen on the LCS stage, but with 3 melee on the other team, hey, could be pretty effective. It'll be interesting to actually track if he can get some good Gore Drinker procs off there. It is obviously quite a bit of health. The Omni Vamp is nice for Graves. The ability Ace, like all the stats are great. So it's just a little bit like the passive, rather the active can be a bit difficult because obviously I'm a range champion. But if you think they're all going to be diving on top of you anyway, then hey.
Takeover been really consistent actually with this poke. He's up 20 CS, which is nice to see, but again, Corki's just absorbing the pressure. Bjerg's actually not got a Hex Drinker right now, might not even want one at this point. Maybe feel like doesn't need it. Obviously, LeBlanc is going to be a big threat for the squishier targets in general, but not being able to convert Takeover's pressure anywhere else just yet. Is going to get spotted transferring to top side because Shenyi's here, maybe trying to interrupt Bjergsen's happy farming time.
Yeah, no flash on Bjergsen, so there is some potential to try to pressure him. As you said, there is no Hex Drinker, so I think if they actually can land full combo, you can kill this. So it just comes down to, can they actually land the CC?
There's one, there's two, and that's an easy pickup. Shenyi, though, a little too low. Isn't going to die just yet, but no one's in the area to chase him, so Shenyi's going to hit B and put his hands together.
Yeah, well played there by TSM. They find the punish on Bjerg. That's one where if you have Hex Drinker, hey, maybe you actually get out scot-free on that one. But not going to be the case here, as TSM trying to hold on the bottom side as well. Spica's in the area, but 4 members from TL are coming down. I think there's not an angle to dive, though.
Very nice. Good flash from Bwipo, though, and also TBF and Takeover is available. Zeri going to rotate in, but Hans Sama running interference. Here's Santorin as well. Tactical does have cleanse and flash, but it's going to Zeri over the wall. Nice and easy escape there for Tactical.
Waves goodbye with the emote there. But not only did Huni actually force the flash from Bwipo, he got CoreJJ's flash. Because CoreJJ was like, oh crap, Bwipo's about to die here.
Spica from the shadows, jumping out of the shrubbery there with the J4 ulti. Need a little bit more damage, though. Takeover
though,
is going to TP in, but Santorin looking for the reset. Does get stunned up. Huni's going to live for so long, but not long enough. And Irelia, man, just stealing that stun. Shenyi's going to get crushed to pieces at the end of that play as Bjergsen grabs the kill.
That's a big one there, and they're even going to find Takeover. Not sure if he can fight his way out of this one. Trying to get Bwipo.
Gonna have to try Bwipo low, but Bwipo shuts down Takeover.
Nicely done by TL. Just like that, 3K gold lead. All of a sudden, the wheels kind of falling off for TSM. They were fighting back and forth, quite even, but a lot of kills going the other way here as Bwipo picks up the honey fruit. Spica wants to try to make a play happen, but Flag and Drag is on cooldown, so he doesn't really have any damage there. You know, the flag comes down so Takeover can actually TP in. He ults onto Bwipo, but Bwipo just slides out, and he's chilling. Like, it wasn't even close to actually bursting him down. Tactical gets poked out on the side. Bjergsen goes over the wall, shoves him out, so he's out of the fight as well. And the rest of the squad is just getting run down here. Huni didn't have ult because he used it earlier in the 1v1. TSM just getting a little bit too big for their britches, trying to take a fight that they can't handle. And TL slap them down and now take full control of this one.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous gold lead that Team Liquid have gotten off the back of that little exchange. Yes, TSM still have those 2 dragons. They'll be looking for those, but going to be tough here in this mid game with the advantage that TL have once again slowly but surely built. Just feels like every Team Liquid game kind of feels like it follows a script.
So a lot of different builds today, to be honest.
I'm excited.
We're seeing Divine Sunderer here on the Corki, which basically no one builds in solo queue, even or in pro. Like, this is very atypical. We've seen almost exclusively Luden's Corki like this whole year. Bjergsen was one of the only guys that did a shield bow build. That was one of the only times I can remember in pro this year where people actually pivoted from it. So going a little bit different, a little bit more tanky, you know, with this build. It's going to be more auto attack based. It will go Divine Sunderer. He'll still go Muramana and just be an auto attacker.
I like that this worked, and it's going to be CoreJJ going down. Spica able to pick up the kill. They saw one, but couldn't see Shenyi in the other front.
Yeah, laying a trap. Nicely done. TSM continuing to stay proactive. They've got to play to Huni's side of the map and keep him in the game, keep him playing aggressive. So Huni's proxying. They get that kill on that side. TSM will try to take down this tier 1 bot while TL look to trade towards top. And we'll see. Should be able to knock down this tower, no problem, with the attack speed afforded from that flag.
Rallying around the standard. Huni, Spica able to get this nice and easily. Plenty of minions in the tank as well. So they'll back away. They do trade tower. Still pressure here in top side, though.
It's really interesting. You know, I'm kind of thinking about like why Bjergsen may have gone for this build. Maybe he's expecting a lot of health stacking just over on the other side. And Divine Sunderer is very effective against health stackers. But it's interesting to see, like, if he wanted to go an AD build, why it was this instead of a Triforce, which, you know, obviously has the higher sheen damage and, you know, kind of a higher DPS style item. But if there are a lot of health stackers, Divine Sunderer can be effective. So seeing some different stuff, you know, very different builds from the soul laners here from TL. Things you don't really normally see. So it's definitely interesting.
Definitely have faith in TL as well, but, you know, they've got the infrastructure, got the players to be doing that homework. So. And
Bwipo has done that on Graves before, right? Like, he was the only guy doing the crazy lethality builds when everyone was doing just like full shield bow, defensive style builds.
Hullbreaker Scion.
Yep.
Shyvana.
Redemption Scion.
Oh yeah, Redemption Scion there. That's trouble in paradise there for Shenyi. Santorin able to pick that one off. Great arrow from Hans Sommer to set this all up. And this is the high value herald that Team Liquid are just ramming down mid here. TSM going to lose 2 towers off that play. Now the gold lead's starting to grow up to 4K for Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's getting pretty concerning. The gold lead getting away from them, and TSM, their big advantage was stacking towards Soul. Well, that's going to get cut short here, unfortunately, for them. Huni will push on the top side, potentially take down this tower, but could very well die for it. His Bjergsen, I believe, still has package, so he's going to go in.
Zoomy. Huni in trouble. Tower not dead, so this is just an easy pickup. Bwipo going to flash in to make sure that kill happens quickly, and Bjergsen does collect the gold.
Yeah, can't even finish off the tower, unfortunately, for Huni. So he goes down. They get the dragon on the other side. TL win out in all regards. Takeover trying to keep those waves pushed out because TSM basically have to play 1-3-1 at this point. They've got to just keep shoving waves, try to find opportunities to get picks through sides. By pushing in those waves, you can deny vision, you can play from fog, which is kind of where LeBlanc wants to be. Bwipo smells the dive, so he's going to spend the ult to clear out this this wave as best as he can. But Shenyi on the wraparound will at least push him back, and Tactical collects the tower.
You know, bad for TSM. They do need to keep collecting gold where they can. Unfortunately for them, it means they have to trade a lot. But that is just kind of the position you're in when you're down in these earlier stages of the game. Obviously, Team Liquid going to have full faith in their 5v5 and their scaling, especially with someone like Bjergsen piloting Corki. But TSM not out of it just yet. We'll see if either Huni or Takeover can really get things going. And of course, Tactical on Zeri, always a threat. Kind of once Zeri gets gold, very frustrating to deal with sometimes.
Absolutely. And TSM do have a lot of good pick tools, right? So that's what it's about. It's all about just finding picks. But it's definitely going to be a tough one because you are losing, so you're losing control of vision. TL, I think, is one of the best teams, you know, really at controlling vision and setting up for these objectives, and they have AShe. So anywhere that they don't have eyes already, they're going to scat out, but Huni going for a big play.
1v1 looking good. He's going to get the kill. The shutdowns there. Huni still alive for a little while longer. Shenyi going to try and save his TSM. They're going to turn the play around. Santorin is going to die. Core's going to go down as well, and TSM get 4 kills out of nowhere.
They can go Baron on spawn here. Rush for it. This is your best chance for TSM. TSM runs straight to it. Bjergsen tried to flash the Irelia E, but he ended up just flashing from one side of it to the other. Huni had a really well-placed stun, catches him on the edge of it, gets the last reset on the dash. TSM are on it. Bwipo can't do anything about this. Bjergsen can TP on spawn, but this is just gone, and just like that, TSM pulled back a 4 or 5K gold lead to dead even.
And at this point, many people will be worried about TL's fortune in this game. I personally am worried about TL Dodo's job security because after that tweet, this happened.
Fired. All right, well, we can watch it one more time. TL trying to establish vision so Bjergsen can kind of safely push this out. But TSM preempt the play. They just have extra members down here. Huni, alt flash, catches Bjergsen, and then that is the placement that caught Bjergsen. He flashes to the side, but Huni placed that stun very, very well, kills him off. Core's trying to bail him out, so is the Viego, but Takeover's there, Shenyi's there, they have lots of CC. Bjergsen has already died before they arrived, and on the other side, the AShe gets caught too. Insult to injury, they all lost their flashes. So this is great for TSM. Now you have the Baron buff. You're still down gold, unfortunately, but like at the very least, they have a way in. 2 items get completed for multiple members off of that now. It's Shield Bow plus Blade of the Rune King, so you're gonna need some heal cut to deal with Huni in that side lane, which Graves has already purchased up. Frozen Heart now through there for Spica. They're looking to push and try to collect some gold.
Yeah, how much of the standing gold can TSM get? You have to think with the Baron, they should be able to get a decent amount, but TL are going to try and fight them off the turrets here, buy as much time as they possibly can. The other thing is that Baron is going to expire, not expire, I guess, before the Dragon is up. And TSM are still looking at that soul, even though they did take a bit of a pit stop there with TL getting one, but Spica, very aware, does flag that brush. Knows Team Liquid are trying to set a trap.
Yeah, exactly. And TSM just want to keep them pinned in. You want to keep all these waves pushed, lock them out of their jungle so that when the Dragon does spawn, you know they have no vision in the area. That's one of the most powerful parts about the Baron. And that is why they are playing in this zone. You can see all the vision getting denied here in this area now, sweeping it out, and they're trying to find a pick.
Going for a picker on a CoreJJ, but not quite enough damage yet. Takeover is going to jump in. Shenyi with a stopwatch now as they're going to reset the play. A massive slow from Tactical. Shenyi dies, but Huni dives on in, and Tactical here to play Janitor, mopping up Team Liquid right outside their own base.
Oh, they're going to get 3 kills. Tactical still going aggressive there. Santorin forced to retreat. A huge set of plays for TSM. Tactical going to push in mid. Should be able to collect that tower as well. 30 seconds now on the Dragon here. TSM looking strong.
Alrighty, 40 seconds on the Baron left. Tower falls down. It's TSM now that are up in gold by 1,000. Tactical is going to keep on pushing in, and looking at this next Dragon fight, Tactical here gonna stay to try and take down this tower, but he's gonna have to back away. CoreJJ is in the area.
And it's really starting to feel very similar to the FlyQuest game, where they're playing this marksman top, low engage style comp. The AShe is in this one, so they do have that. As Tactical playing with fire a little bit, but it's TP flank coming. It's double TP flank, but TSM has spotted them. They're
This is just so aggressive. Bwipo is going to get stunned up. The package goes down. Takeover is low. Tactical, they need to kill him. They will pick him off. It's Bjergsen that's able to collect it. They get Takeover there as well. Team Liquid, a very bold double TP is going to pay off massive.
Oh, that is crazy. They fight their way out. Double TP coming through. And on the other side, Santorin wins the fight as well. Santorin killing off Takeover, taking that, chaining up Huni so everyone can pile in and take him down. Oh my gosh, it's so back and forth. The fights here. TL making a really aggressive call. We can watch this one more time as Tactical is getting pushed out, and it's all about the flank here. Coming in at the same time, it looked like it could have been Doom, but Bwipo flashes the Leona ultimate. The package gets layered across, and TSM's members just get pinned against that wall there. The AShe arrow connecting as well to knock him down. And then Santorin, who had Takeover's body, he uses that to catch over onto Huni. Get themselves another kill. 12-12, 24 minutes in. TL again in the lead here, about 2K, but it's anyone's game.
Yep, swinging back and forth here, and Dragon Soul is going to be a long way away. The Elder even further from that. So it is back to looking at the Baron fights, because this game, basically even, it feels like, even though Team Liquid still have an advantage.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot on Tactical Zeri, going to be a lot on Bjergsen's Corki, and of course, The 5v5 gonna have to be good for both teams. Typically, we trust TL in those spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
TSM's fighting on.
They are, and it's just not the traditional TL style of composition, and they've been wanting to work this kind of stuff into their gameplay. They did it against FlyQuest where they lost that one, of course, you know, the TP flank coming through from Veigar to Koi on that play. But that was one where they had, you know, a 7K advantage. This game, they were nearly 5K up, and they fell behind. They have, again, kind of fought their way back into a lead. But TL has shown that they can be susceptible with these compositions. Their bread and butter is more, you know, the standard have a front line, fight front to back. But they obviously want to mix it up. They want to be flexible here for playoffs. They're trying to work away at that. As Bjergsen going to be working towards, looks like a rapid fire third, very likely. TSM pushing in mid, going to take that tier 2. So closing the gap on this gold lead, but you have to obviously take into consideration the fact that Corki is just going to be a threat. Poke Corki or not, Corki just scales incredibly well and is going to be very difficult to deal with, especially when package is available.
All right, well, 40 seconds until the next Baron is up, and not going to worry really much about the Drakes at this point because it's going to take so long to stack them, but that will follow in 2 minutes 50. Teams are going to gear up, though. It looks like TSM are the first to the area, getting that vision set down, but map is very open. There's lots of side lanes that are kind of being caught by different people. So this setup's going to have to be pretty perfect. TL don't have any TPs. Already used them to get themselves back into this spot. So TSM first to the play for this Baron.
Yep, absolutely are. First in the area, but not a play that they can really start up themselves. They've got to, I think, you know, draw someone to the side lanes, utilize the TP advantage, go to sides, push it out, try to get TL to respond, and then you can threaten a cross-map play with that TP advantage, right? You know, if you get into the 1-3-1, which is what they're doing now, as you see their members kind of pushing outside, Huni over here, Takeover going to be down here. There is one teleport coming up for Bwipo, so he can look to answer on one side, but whatever side he doesn't go to, you have the extra man that can come from there. But Santorin sneaking in, trying to look for a play.
Oh, hard summer with a massive arrow catches Shenyi, but not really enough there. Huni also a little bit out of position, but perhaps they'll use this for a flank instead.
He wants this.
TSM want the fight. Huni sees the angle, but instead they found a catch onto Bwipo.
And they're going to continue chasing. Takeover is here. He is teleported in. They want more.
Bjergsen here as well. Huni with a flash ulti goes for it, but the corridor is so nice for the follow-up. Braum off Santorin gets the kill, resets in. Now he's Irelia, and TL is just going to go for the fight, but TSM now on the counter engage, trying to make it happen.
Tactical
still going off here on the Zeri. Spica somehow gets out of that situation alive, but Tactical's going to be forced to run away. Santorin gets another body, and Bjergsen with the Braum passive shuts down Tactical.
TL's team fighting is too damn good. They're gonna go for the Baron here. Starting it up, it will be theirs. Level 16 now on the Corki. Massive team fight for TL that looked like it could have gone the way of TSM, but so many little things here making the difference. Tactical trying to kite out on the initial play. The arrow did connect onto Shenyi, so that is down. And as Bwipo goes over here, TSM realized they can pincer. Takeover actually comes in on the TP. Huni arrives, they get that first kill, and then they want more. But it's about the positioning for TL. You have to respect Braum in the corridors. The door goes up. Look at the ulti across multiple members. Santorin goes in. He gets the kill. Now watch the stun here. Two-man stun from the stolen Irelia there by Santorin. Then taking over the LeBlanc. He is getting so much value here out of the Viego, even pushing Tactical back over the wall. And then with the Braum passive on him, Bjergsen knows he can flash in to pick up Tactical to get that extra kill and take the Baron for him.
Yep, unsurprisingly, Team Liquid, as you did see in the pip, did get Baron off the back of that play. Looking to maybe end this game a little early. It's getting scrappy. Maybe don't want to have to play for the solo if they don't have to. Tactical's going to zip away, but Santorin is massive in this game. 7-1 and 8 right now in the Viego, and TSM are going to be pushed all the way back to their base.
Yeah, Santorin has just been absolutely smurfing in this game. Really smart pathing, great invade from level 1. And his usage of all of the stolen champions has been really good. Effective. Like, he's hitting everything. He's landing the chains. He's hitting the Irelia stuns. He has been just doing it all, it feels like, all game long. And he has the GA to boot. They are in such a strong position now. The IE is in for Hans. IE likely next to come here for Bjergsen. But they are in just such a strong position. And TSM, again, on the back foot here. The gold lead about back to where it was when they were at their largest. It was about 4.5, 5K.
Yep.
So we're pretty much back to that spot here once more. But it's Baron on TL, and they are pushing in. And Corki is a menace at this point.
Bwipo back to jungle for a brief moment there. Remembering his time last year. Does take the Ocean Drake there for Team Liquid, because there's There's sieging happening. Got a minute 10 still left on this Baron. Bjergsen has the package, though I think it has now expired by the looks of things. Yep, there's no big extra rockets there underneath the little Corki plane, but that's good enough for Team Liquid to take 2 inhibitors now.
Is Spica gonna try to flank? Okay, no. He gets spotted on the ward. I think he wanted to look for a wraparound play. Not gonna be able to find it, but as you said, 2 inhibs down. They're on soul point as well. Things looking rough here for TSM. It's gonna have to be some sort of outplay in the side lane, you feel, to really buy them some time in this game. Takeover is strong, and there's not really a lot of defensive itemization on the Corki or the AShe, as AShe does just pick up the stopwatch there, so, you know, gets a little bit of safety, but Deathcap, Luden's Shadow Flame, that's a lot of burst. If you can full combo someone, you can maybe make it happen. But if you cannot find that angle, they have so much damage with this triple marksman plus Braum guarding them from that front line. The Braum passive stuns are so quick to come out. If you get tagged at all, 3 marksmen hit you, you are instantly stunned. And you are just going to straight up get burst down as pretty much anyone.
Yeah, it's tricky to see sometimes in the throes of battle, but Braum is just proccing on everyone.
Oh, TSM, they've
game.
been spotted.
Yeah, this is not good news. Braum ulti straight into the bush. And Santorin's going to get stunned, but he goes into stasis. They are going to dive in. Hansama getting low. Takeover actually gets the pick that they were looking for in TSM. They're doing it again, but now Bwipo wrapping around the side. Bjergsen's still alive. There's just too many marksmen to matter. It's a triple kill for Bjergsen. The Penta angle's on the table, but so is Take the Nexus, win the game, and claim first for the LCS regular season.
Bjergsen is too responsible for his own good. He's not going for the Penta. He's going for the base instead. You're looking to close it out, looking to secure first.
What a surprise that the 6-time LCS champion and 4-time MVP wants to win the game instead of trying to get a Penta and extending things. You know what? I guess that's why he's one of the best. As Team Liquid are going to get the final kill. It's not going to be a delayed quadra. Bwipo's going to nick the last one, but Team Liquid will claim first for the LCS regular season.
Huge finish there for TL. Big game out of Bjergsen, 10-3-6. But really, to me, this one felt a lot about Santorin. He was incredible in this one, creating a large early advantage, snowballing it very effectively. TSM, valiant effort to fight back, found some good picks, found some good outplays to make TL really work for it, but TL's team fighting carried them through as they look strong in the 5v5s, positioned really well, utilizing the Braum very, very effectively. Triple marksman plus Braum, positioned in a jungle corridor multiple times when you look back, you know, to the Baron fight or around Baron, you know, that angle that they won there, and also the most recent fight that they actually win. Braum lays down the ulti, has the door up, absorbing so much damage, applying the passive to multiple people with autos, with Qs, so that the marksman can proc this. And really, you know, it's very difficult to actually fight through the Braum towards the marksman. So credit to TL, they get the job done. First place.
First place once again as we're heading out to stage to join the first place Santorin in our Verizon post-game interview.